Good morning and welcome, and hope that you are having a wonderful time at Grace Hopper so far. And we are so excited to share with you some of the frameworks that we have developed for building seamless user experiences. We will explain how we have implemented these across millions of products across the globe and how you can utilize these frameworks in your product building process. My name is Bethany Tinklenberg. I'm a product manager with 5+ years of experience in design and product management here at PlayStation, and I am super passionate about supporting women in technology. And so, out of that passion, I was a co founder for the Women at PlayStation board, as well as the Global Mentorship Lead. And I spearheaded that program that supports mentorship for women and, well, everyone actually at the company across the entire globe. So, we have those mentorship programs at Sony Interactive Entertainment. And that's something that I really care about. And then on the side, I really enjoy hiking and I like going outside and playing with ceramics and building ceramics. So I am going to pass the mic to my co-speaker, Mousumi, and she's going to introduce herself real quickly as well.
Hello, everyone. I am Mousumi. I'm the software QA manager at Sony Interactive Entertainment, and I'm responsible for leading the end-to-end testing activities of various large programs and also building performant and happy teams. I'm also the professional development lead at Women's at PlayStation. We love seeing women grow in our company, and I help bring impactful training and initiatives for all the women across different sites. Now I'm going to pass on to Bethany to kick off the conversation.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mousumi. And thank you all for taking the time to join us as we discuss how to design, build, and ship products that delight millions of users across the globe by incorporating both user journeys and user personas into your design and development process. The frameworks that we will discuss today will go over the product management process, as well as some of the ways in which we can provide a holistic view of our product to ensure that our features are designed and built with excellence, leading to seamless user experiences. We're going to examine how different roles benefit from implementing both user personas and user journeys, as well as looking at how we have fully implemented end-to-end user testing successfully at Sony Interactive Entertainment. But first, let's take a look at the product manager's role in creating excellent products. Product management often requires balancing multiple needs when building new things. We have to look at internal stakeholder needs and business needs, as well as our user needs and market needs and team needs as well, to make sure that the development process goes smoothly. User needs and pain points have to be resolved in order for the product to be successful. This really long list of priorities can often make it hard to identify a single cohesive approach to a solution, rather than a list of separate single features that address the variety of needs across the board. Because of this, when defining requirements for a new product managers, designers, and stakeholders are often looking to the answer to the following question: what product should we build? How will it be used? And what type of impact will this have? This question can seem daunting and ambiguous without a strategy for identifying your users, their potential actions, and the impact that your product could have on the world. The role of a product manager requires planning for the future and breaking down large initiatives into smaller product features that can be built with high impact. In large corporations, these features often require support and development across multiple different product teams in order for these things to be designed and built. This will lead to features working super well in their isolated environments, but when evaluated together from an end-to-end perspective, we can uncover gaps in the workflow, in the product functionality, or the end user experience. It's vital to product success to be able to address your needs by breaking down these features into parts that are easily built. But we also have to consider how all of these features will work together in tandem for a seamless end user experience. Now, in order to make this easier to simplify and solve, we can actually boil it down into a couple frameworks for building seamless products, with steps for ideation, finding solutions, and testing the end-to-end user experience. In the ideation phase at Sony Interactive Entertainment, we actually work with our user research and design teams in order to find out who we are serving and what their pain points are. To identify our target market and what their needs are, as well as to ensure that we are meeting their needs, we build user personas. Why don't we take a look together at what user personas are and how they can serve as a guide for designers and product managers when building a new feature. User personas are sample users that we measure our products against. They are data-informed amalgamations of our target market, created from people that are already in our existing customer base, as well as people that we would like to target with our products. We can combine data from market research as well as user testing, and by ensuring that our personas aren't fictitious, we are able to accurately validate our product and design decisions. Because, as we all know, the better we know our users, the better our solution will be. We involve our user research team at this stage in the process to ensure that we are solving for what our customers need. Some companies will go so far as to add a name and picture to their persona, but the essential components of personas are demographics, motivation, situation, and pain points. Let's take a more in-depth look at how to build a user persona. First, we need to identify key demographic information for our target market. This could include anything between age and ethnic background to location and financial situation. These are the types of characteristics that help us to understand who our users are, why they're making their decisions, and how they are using our products. Then it's helpful to document some patterns or pre-existing behaviors that our target market might already engage in. By observing how our users already interact with similar products or features that are available on the market, we can understand better how they are going to respond to the product that we are currently building. Once we've identified our user and their needs, then it's helpful to start mapping these solutions to user journeys. Our user personas will serve as our actors in our journey maps. Journey testing incorporates user personas in order to ensure that the needs of the target market are met and that the feature works smoothly. Journey mapping is the process of tying narratives and actions to user personas. It provides us a holistic view of our customer's experience by uncovering moments of both frustration and delight as we engage with the core functionalities of our product. Each of these moments is a way for us to collect information about our user base and our product, and subsequently how successful our product is at solving our users' needs. When mapping a user experience, product teams have to understand exactly how a user gets from point A to point B. This is how we like to visualize a journey map, but with large projects, it really never is quite as simple or straightforward as this. Product managers, designers, and engineers have to all understand the different steps that it takes for a user to get from point A to point B and to successfully use our products. By mapping out each of these sequential steps, it helps us understand if there are gaps in the product functionality or anything that hinders the users from getting from point A to point B. But as we know on product teams, most of the time, the user journey map doesn't even really look like this. Realistically, it looks like this, with tons of alternate steps and ways for a user to navigate a complex product. We utilize user journey mapping to identify how our customers will experience our product in the end. When done successfully, user journey mapping reveals new opportunities to address customer pain points, resolve feature fragmentation, and develop a better experience for our users. User personas and end-to-end journeys work in tandem together to ensure that all of the customer needs are addressed and that all parts of the feature work seamlessly together. So, even though we might see this as a product team, it is our job to ensure that our customers experience our product seamlessly from end to end. A shared vision of success and a cohesive user experience is the critical goal of user journey mapping as well as user personas, since it dictates the user's understanding and overall perception of our final product. When designing the PlayStation 5, we had to look at how we could make sure that all of our users had a seamless experience end to end across our product. We were building a very large gaming console, and we had to make sure that they had a seamless gaming experience when switching between apps and functions of the console, such as how they would navigate through launching a game, managing their settings, or even listening to music. Because of this, multiple teams all had to work on the separate features, and we all had to make sure that these all fit together in the end to follow a common pattern so that a user could quickly and easily navigate between the spaces of their various functions on the console. Mousumi will now walk us through how we successfully implemented user personas and user journeys, what you learned about today, at Sony Interactive Entertainment, and how different roles can benefit from implementing and engaging with the concept you learned. Thank you.
Thanks, Bethany. I'm so excited to share with you my success story and the real life example that I was a part at my company so that you can pick up some tips that will be helpful for you as well. Now that you have learned from Bethany what are user personas and user journeys, I'm going to talk about how we formed the end-to-end model, identified the user personas, user journeys, and how it led to a successful launch and what happened next. So last year we had the launch of the Epic PlayStation, new PlayStation generation, PlayStation 5. And I was given the responsibility of leading the end-to-end QA activities for PlayStation Plus. So what is PlayStation Plus? It is a paid subscription service, and subscribing to it enhances the user's experience with many benefits and discounts on games. It is primarily a dependency-driven program with impacts to more than 20 teams. For the launch, the stakeholders needed a way to track dependencies and say, yeah, it's ready for launch. As this is a broad service that has many touch points across the whole platform, the whole ecosystem, and ensuring all the features were developed by all the teams, and then it works end to end was a big challenge to achieve. So, with many teams working on this program, there was no single governing body to tie all the pieces together. And so, we indeed initially had the problem. There was no single entity responsible for delivery of a large portfolio spanning across multiple cross functional teams. The teams had pieces that would ultimately make PlayStation Plus, but no one could say where those pieces connected to make a complete seamless experience, where those pieces are on track for launch. So the stakeholders then analyzed the problem and decided to form an end-to-end delivery team. The team was tasked to ensure features are developed by different teams as per the specification, and then tracking all the dependencies and ensuring that there are no issues on handoff of features. Because teams would develop features, they had to hand off to other teams who would be waiting for them, the result of their team to take on the work. So that was seamlessly organized by this end-to-end team. And ultimately, it all led to a seamless user experience. Now I'm going to talk more about our end-to-end model and which domains were a part of this model. So the different domains that were part of this end-to-end model was comprised of engineering, product, QA, design, and PMO. So let's take a look at this model. To the far left, you can see the inputs that are the business requirements, the stakeholder requirements, and customer product issues. And each domain had the unique roles and how the team benefited. I'm going to talk about more. So the design team was responsible for the UI guidelines, the UI workflow, and incorporate the user feedback. Product then took the UI workflow and defined user journeys. QA role was to understand the user intent, the personas, and thinking of ways how the personas will interact and validating them through the user journeys. Engineering role was to define the entire architecture, dependency, so that teams who are developing are clear on their tasks. There are no surprises on the way. And PM, since managing was the biggest task, their role was to track all the effort and communication. And as a result of having this model, the team ensured all the pieces tied together to form a cohesive experience. This team initially went ahead and captured all the product vision in a series of epics and Jira. While connecting them with what was in the plan backlog of different teams, we identified gaps in features early on. So that was our first step. We found issues. Yeah, yay, we're going to fix those issues. We stack rank the epics and then assign dependency mapping to which teams are needed to support the work. Tracking the completeness of large epics was difficult and seemed incomplete. We had some breakthrough, but seemed still incomplete. So decomposing epics into user journeys based on personas is the way we decided to deal with all the work. So now take a look at more details about the user journeys. We started the end-to-end user journeys as a way to track what has been completed across various teams. Each epic was divided into several user journeys based on persona, as Bethany talked about, the user personas and the journeys. The personas here we have are the unsubscribed user, subscribed user, lapsed user, and trial user. We defined what the expectations each user persona could have, all the touch points, the user intents, and then sketch the journeys based on the personas. After reviewing, when we created the user journeys and while we were reviewing them, we also find gaps in our understanding as well, and we adjusted them as we move forward. So we are moving forward, we are hitting roadblocks, we are fixing them on the way. That's what my intent here was, to tell you that throughout our process, we found issues early on and mitigated them. The user journeys then gave us a finer grained way to understand what was done and what is still outstanding. It also set up a framework for what QA would exercise to ensure that all the disparate pieces work together rather than decomposing an entire epic, which we initially thought to track. So now I'm going to talk briefly about the end-to-end testing. The end-to-end testing team's test plans were based on the user journeys and also monitoring each individual team's test cases that they also developed and tested for the plus features. The team wanted to understand how deep and wide each feature is being tested by different teams, and then find a unique way to test all individual parts that equated into a actual experience that is being designed. That's what Bethany was talking about, that we have to come together. And finally, how do we provide confidence to leadership that features are launch ready? It was kind of a 360-degree check that was required to ensure accurate interaction across different platforms and environments. The processes we defined continuously gave leadership a health status, and they knew which things are on track and what is still outstanding or risky, so that necessary actions can be taken on the way. So as a result of this end-to-end model and the processes this team brought, launch of this program was a huge success. We shipped this program with low-risk bugs, and user engagement increased, and so did the subscription numbers. And after the success, this end-to-end team got onboarded into an even bigger, larger program. And now looking forward, the end-to-end user journeys, which we defined last year, now serve as a source of truth, which teams can refer back on requirements. Now I'm going to go through our case study, a real example of what a user journey, walk you through a real user journey and show what we accomplished by using a user persona and tying them together with an entry point. The journey I'm going to talk about is a unsubscribed user discovering PlayStation Plus and purchasing the subscription. The persona I'm using here is an unsubscribed PlayStation Plus. While going through the purchase of the subscription, this persona traverses through many applications to complete a transaction. Let's imagine for a moment that you are an unsubscribed user who has recently bought the PlayStation 5 and you're looking for content to play. As an unsubscribed user, you scroll, you unpack your box, you log in, and then you see that first thing that catches your eye is PlayStation Store. Store is predominantly where people buy content. Then your eye catches on the subscriptions tab in the store. You are curious to know what is this PlayStation Plus, and you select the tile. Now, clicking on the tile will take you to a completely new application called PlayStation Hub. And as you scroll through the PlayStation Hub, you find Ratchet and Clank game that you are interested to play. Now you select on that game, and you are taken to another page or another application where you find the game details of Ratchet and Clank. There is a price, and you find like the game you like is free with the purchase of the subscription. So you're curious and you hit the subscribe button. With the subscribe button, now you're presented with 3 different plans, whether you want to purchase a monthly subscription, 3 months, or 12 months. And you chose to go for a yearly subscription. As you select the yearly subscription, you're taken to another application, cart screen, where you confirm your purchase. And after the purchase, the user can download the game and start playing. Finally, this journey, the outcome was to be able to play their favorite game. Now, with the purchase of the subscription, voila, the subscribe button changed to play button, they can start playing. Now that you have heard from Bethany some of the best practices and my case study, and hopefully you will go back to your company and collaborate with your stakeholders to implement this model in your company and start thinking about user journeys and user persona. Now that we have 5 minutes left, we would love to get your questions about user journeys or user personas or about the process.